I think I did. I think I changed it.
You changed it. What's up, guys?
Guys, Blair Witch Project, blue collar operation coming at you.
Yeah. This is not designed for 3 people in one in one screen.
Yeah. So we've actually moved all the furniture in the room to try to make this work for this live stream. Can anybody hear us? Can you please put in the live that you can see us / hear us?
Yeah.
That would be good. It says we've been live for 30 seconds.
Okay. Well, let's see if Michael Ham's here. He'll tell us.
Michael.
Oh, and check out this jersey. Tom Brady. This was gifted to me by the Show Locator. So on Instagram, the Show Locator. You can check out shows all over the country and submit shows that are in your hometown for him to post. His name is Donald. Really nice guy, but he actually got this for me as a gift for shouting out the Show Locator on prior YouTube videos. So shout out to him and make sure to check out his Instagram. What are you doing, man? You want to cut in on my story with your little gift?
The Show Locator. He's the one that gifted me this.
Oh, well, there you go.
Oh, same guy. Okay. Yeah. Show here. Let's put up. So this is Soundgarden, right? Soundgarden?
Yeah.
Yeah. Soundgarden, 1991, PSA 9. Very cool card just for the PC.
Yeah, I would play Black Hole Sun right now if there wasn't a copyright issue, but.
Yeah, that was gifted to me by Show Locator also.
Yeah, really nice guy. So again, if you're looking for a show in your area or you have one to submit, go to the Show Locator on Instagram and follow him and do that. What do we got so far?
Ringer. Are those prescription glasses? Let's get to the important topics.
These are blue light blocking glasses that help me fall asleep at night.
Blue blockers.
Blue light blockers, man.
I remember blue blockers.
Is that a real thing?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I remember the blue blockers. Yeah.
What the hell's good? Oh,
someone's coming in. Cameraman? All right.
We got another.
Ryan's back.
So
Dustin
anyway,
forgot his YouTube password at home. He can't log in from. That's actually pretty accurate. And this is also accurate. Bradley, is this the? Yeah. Yep.
Pretty much. Yeah.
Hello to my mother-in-law out there, my beautiful mother-in-law. Good to see you. And to my I guess my daughter is watching too. She needs to go to bed. Tell her to go to bed, please. Have fun at the show. What's going on, Devin? Good to see you, buddy. How did you like to shine? Okay. How's it going, Will? Michael? I'm trying to catch everybody, but the comments are coming through.
Yeah. Well, we just got here, like 5 hours ago, 6 hours ago. And tonight was trade night at the show, which it's 6 till 9 p.m. And it's just vendors setting up for the weekend and I guess doing business with each other primarily.
Yeah.
And there's people, I guess, from the public that are out. And Boris, the hobby box, is actually there right now doing deals. But we decided to do this instead because. Yeah,
Boris is actually doing card deals. We're back.
We're talking about how one day we'll be doing that.
That's right. So Steve, do you want to talk about, you had a pickup today. Steve has already spent all of his money. I don't know if his wife knows that yet. No. I'm kidding. Steve had a pickup. I'm just like throwing him in the fire here.
It was just a small pickup, just because I think it can be a quick flip with the playoffs. Just a Tyler Hero card, red mosaic. Got a really good deal on it. Just a good deal. And
so it says 130, but you got it for what, 115?
Yeah.
All right. So why'd you get this card specifically?
Well, I like Tyler Hero as a player, but I also think he has upside. And the Heat, I think, are a sneaky team. If he has a couple big games. The price on the card is easy to make money off something that when you buy it low.
We're each getting $4 off of this.
Yeah.
And actually, I don't monetize the live streams.
Oh,
the rest too. I don't Oh yeah. Brad didn't know that, so he's out. He's out.
I think I do this for the fun.
The StreamYard sponsorship that we are working towards one day. Yeah, you never know. Thanks, Nicholas. Appreciate that. Oh, that's awesome. Actually, that's cool to hear.
Yeah, very cool.
So yeah, we just arrived here a few hours ago. So all of us kind of went to the show. Opened today. It was from 6 to 9, and just kind of a blip. We went there just to kind of check it out, see what it looks like. I would say probably half the tables are not filled yet. They're not, like, half the people aren't here yet as far as the vendors go. So, I was just kind of checking it out. Same with Steve and same with Brad. You okay over there?
I'm looking for my phone, man. I got an auction on eBay that ends in like an hour, and I need the.
Glad to see you're focused, but Yeah. So
Keep going. Man.
Yeah.
You're doing great.
yeah. All right. See you later, Brad. He's going to go do his thing. He lost his phone. So now we have all sorts of issues going on. So yeah, I was just kind of checking it out. It is a big show. The one thing I did notice, I think these guys, well, I can't speak for LA, but in North Carolina where I am, the local shows, there's usually 3 or 4 vendors that have some big dollar stuff. This show, it felt like there was 100 tables plus that had high dollar stuff. Like there were some serious cards. I walked around for 20 minutes. In 20 minutes, I saw all sorts of different things. So it's definitely kind of a big contrast from what I'm used to at local shows.
It's like the rodeo drive of cards, where it's like you have to find the table that has cards that are under $100, $200, $300, but most of them are $1,000 to $10,000. So it's like if you are lower budget, it's great for inspiration, but you're gonna have to like find the raw cards, and that's it. I mean, it's not like there's a plethora of small lower end cards at a show this big. So I think that's a good thing overall, because that's the goal, is to make your way up to this.
I mean, I saw a couple of police officers that were there solely for security at the show. I mean, I guess that's my assumption. That's why they were there, but they were hanging out just to make sure there was no funny business. And I don't see that at my local shows, I guess is my point. So that was really interesting. Mm-hmm. One thing we were talking about is kind of similar to Steve's pickup. I was thinking about picking up some, I'm not going to call them like smaller dollar cards, but at this show they are. $100 cards are probably smaller on the lower end, but trying to pick up some maybe prospects, $100, $200, and then trying to maybe kind of trade those up into other things.
You should try and do that and actually like lose money. End up with zero.
I'm worried about Boris right now, dude. Where's Boris? Like, I hope Boris didn't trade everything out. So I don't know.
Yeah, we'll see.
We'll see.
Well, there was a question here about how much money, dude. Brad, I had 2 double stuffed burrito bowls from Chipotle. I might go for 3 tomorrow, but there's no cake. I can't find a bakery within walking distance. And then how much money did we bring? And literally, I've been buying so much on eBay for upcoming football season that, I'm almost at my threshold before I want to just call it until I sell for football. So I brought literally $1,000. There might be 1 or 2 cards that I'll pick up. But in terms of what we're looking for, like to accomplish at the show, for me, it was all about meeting people, starting to build relationships, and then just experiencing it. It was not about finding specific cards, because I'm not at that $3,000, $5,000, $10,000 level yet. So that's not really important. And I mean, especially as content creators, it's like, we want to, like, this is the first time we've seen each other in person. And I just wanted to make sure that Dustin wasn't just CGI, and, he actually had legs, even though they're a bit, bow-legged, so.
Brad kind of threw me off with the glasses. And I was like, really? Inside too? I mean, I don't know.
Dude, this I'm telling you, if you have trouble sleeping at night, look up blue light blocker glasses. Just any kind will work, but they put you right out.
So yeah, Devin, I did not bring cards to this show. And some people are saying, so, okay, here's my thought behind it. Here's my thought process behind it. Because some people said, bring cards and you can trade up. You can trade up cards. So if there's a big card that I can make a deal on, Dustin is a robot. Wait, the same. Wait. So instead of trading up, bringing cards to trade up and then losing them in the airport, it's kind of my thought. I'm paranoid, so I don't want to bring cards with me. Maybe I just kind of buy the card and then I can sell off things to kind of reimburse myself. So maybe doing it on the back end. I don't have loads of cash with me, but I can, if need be, I can, access if needed. I don't have tens of thousands of dollars, but if there's a nice card, then I can, try to make something work. But I didn't want to bring a suitcase full of cards and just be worried about where are they in my hotel room, blah, 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 all of that stuff. So I'd rather just try to kind of, if I have to stretch a little bit. All right.
There you go.
It's way past my daughter's bedtime and she is in the chat. So anyway, But yeah, so that's kind of my plan right now. And then maybe that changes at the national, or maybe that changes down the road. But that's kind of what I'm doing for this one. And like Brad said, it's a lot of just about networking and all that stuff.
There are some good questions here. I got to put this one up just because it's funny as hell.
Yeah.
Shut up.
Yeah. Keep it down, Boris.
In terms of show prices, did you notice anything about the prices here?
I didn't have enough time. I mean, we were in there literally for 20 minutes, like just popped in, popped out.
Okay.
That was it.
Well, I noticed some tables, like one table was like literally 50% over comps. It wasn't even close. And then I talked to someone else that said the same thing. They're like,
I'll be right back.
it was the comps like on eBay are just so much lower, so that if you walk up to the table and you don't know what actual comps are right now, not a month ago or 2 months ago, you're going to screw yourself. So you got to look it up somehow. And then I think there are others that I looked at the prices and I was like, that's actually pretty legit. So it looks like they're motivated sellers.
Yeah.
What did you notice?
As far as pricing goes on the cards, there was a lot of showcases that didn't have tags, and I was thinking everybody would have their stuff priced out, because that's kind of been like the one recommended thing that people who do shows have asked, buyers, what do you prefer? They like to have their stuff stickered. The other thing I noticed is that people are not liking to sell into the dip. So even though some stuff is down, a lot of people are pricing their stuff well above eBay comps and not even willing to negotiate off of it. I got one person told me they had a Zion card stickered at 1,100. The last comp was 800, and their thing was, I don't mind holding this card. I would rather hold this. If I can't get my $1,100 for it, I would rather just hold it than sell it at eBay comp.
Well, it's kind of like when I list something on eBay, I list it at a price that I'm willing to take or best offer. So then there's like wiggle room so that offers can come in and I can entertain it and deny it or accept it. But at a show, it's like, I guess you either can just show what you want to sell, or you could do that same approach where it's like, look, this is over market value. However, this is the price at which it's worth me selling. So if it's not worth you buying, that's fine. But I'll at least show it for maybe that one person that's okay with it. But in terms of what you're looking to buy, Steve?
I'm looking for, I'm trying to get onto the jersey patch autos of some of the better players, a nice Brady or a nice Manning or a combo auto of those. Some younger players, like I grabbed a Tyler Hero.
You want to join your stream?
Because you got to be, diversified in some stuff that you can move quickly as opposed to just stuff that you hold long term. And I'd like to find a nice numbered parallel Zion if I could, which I didn't see much out there other than really high end like NT stuff. And I'm not looking to get into an NT of Zion, but like a select numbered prism or something like that.
Well, I think that was something that after looking at the pop report, especially of Zion and Luka, but like Zion's the one that really came out last year, is going into next NBA season, I'm totally looking at either optic hollows or select parallels or something, or even like courtside or something where here's the thing is, all right, there's two sides of the equation. There's supply and demand. Demand is hard enough because demand is based on the player's performance. The player plays good, the demand goes up. But if they play bad, the demand goes down. Now, supply is like, now I just want cards that at least I know the supply is somewhat low. So at least that one side of the equation is fine. But I don't want to be spending all my money on base prism PSA 10s of someone like Zion that has 18,000 out there.
It's the Musketeers, Chris. It's the Musketeers.
Musketeers for sure.
I'm also looking for some soccer pickups because I think the soccer market is going to be strong, and I think it's holding steady and going to be strong. Lots of players.
Anthony, I am not necessarily looking for Breeze in particular, but I'm not against it either. And I'm looking at kind of exquisite national treasure stuff just because, there's time to buy Breeze. He's not playing this year. You have a whole season of him not being really relevant, not playing. So it's not as if I'm not going to reach on Breeze stuff because I think that I've got really plenty of time to find it. That's kind of where I am with that. There's other. I'm more looking at Tom Brady, which I know is kind of sacrilegious with this guy here, but
Tom Brady.
It doesn't have a ring to it at all. It sounds stupid.
There's no coincidence there.
No coincidence. Thoughts on LeBron versus Steph last night? I thought the Lakers looked subpar. I did too. And I actually I'm not a LeBron fan, really.
No one is.
I'm not a LeBron fan. So I was pulling for the Warriors just because Steph's playing without Clay. I'm like, man, I want the Warriors to kind of make it happen. LeBron, like, I don't know, got poked in the eye, can't see a thing, hits a 40-foot three to win the game. It was unbelievable shot by him. But I was pulling for the Warriors, and I still am. I hope that the Lakers get knocked off. I hope that it's the Jazz, or I hope it's the Mavericks, or I hope it's somebody else. Maybe outside, like the Clippers. I'm not really a Clippers fan, but I'd like to see another team take the West. Sorry, I know Brian. I know you're watching. Sorry, buddy. I know you don't agree with that, but my cameraman is here with me, Brian. He is also watching, and he's not going to be happy about that. But that's where I am with it.
There was another comment there. Let's see, from the Reg.
Yeah.
This is about if I'm going to invest in cards long term. Here's the thing. I would love to. It's just the whole market is so volatile. I want cards that I can get out of sooner than later. But the perfect balance for me are like the Tom Brady's, where I want that short-term potential, but the long-term insurance policy. Like someone like Zion, in this unstable of a card market, I want to move as soon as I can, because I don't know what's going to happen a year or 2 years or 3 years from now. I mean, I want to say that as a whole, the card market has gone through that honeymoon period where it's not the new hot thing anymore. And now some people will leave, but then others will join, around the country and around the world, and it'll be more of a steady growth. That's what I'm hoping, right? It's like we had that crazy surge. I just don't know what that means for prices. Obviously, there's a lot of factors involved. There's NFTs and Top Shot and NFL's version and UFC's version. And what if Gary Vee tweets about sports cards again? And all of a sudden that creates another surge.
He did tweet about sports cards today, I think.
Did he?
Yeah.
Ooh,
he took a break from NFTs and went back to sports cards. Yeah.
Good. I mean, it doesn't take much. You get one of those tweets from Gary Vee shared a couple times.
So Brad wears these sunglasses or glasses when he's trying to grade out cards. So when he has like the raw cards, I think these are supposed to be like X-ray, like that's how he was sold on these glasses. And he got them from a kiosk in the mall. They said that he could grade his cards better. So we don't want another like Kobe experience again, like what happened with the Kobe.
But what's great is the market was so crazy that I still profited after all of that, after spending over $3,000 more than I thought I was going to.
AP, if I could stick Jim Carrey clips on these lives, I would do it, man. I would do that. I am the king of Jim Carrey random clips. I will keep those coming. What was Toa? Any indications of who's the guy to buy this weekend? I will tell you, I saw some really nice Mahomes stuff, but honestly, I saw really nice all of these players that you just mentioned: Steph, LeBron, Mahomes. Tom Brady stuff there. It was all there. I mean, you know what? I didn't see a lot of nice Jordan. I didn't see Jordan stuff. I didn't see Jordan inserts, but like I said, half the tables haven't been set up yet.
Yeah,
literally.
I will say that one of those players is the one I'm targeting for this weekend. And it's because you can guess which one it is, considering I'm trying to like basketball and I just can't because football is a superior sport, but, and it's a superior culture. It's just guys hitting each other rather than flopping on the ground because a hand check foul and whatnot. But yeah, I'm looking at Mahomes because this is the one period where Mahomes, a lot of his cards are down a bit, but yet the hype around football, I believe, will be huge this year because you have fans returning to stadiums. You have the first summer that we've had in a while coming to a close and all the travel ending and school season beginning. And I think with basketball being over, hockey being over, Olympics being over at that point, everything is just going to focus on football. And I expect football cards to be really hot. I mean, especially without much competition.
Some of the players that I saw today, whether they're being bought or sold from the vendors, because I saw them buying from people with their cards. And then the other way around, I saw some big Mahomes go, a couple big Brady's, LeBron's, Cristiano Ronaldo cards on the soccer tables were hot.
Yeah.
But that was for Mahomes, I saw multiple deals going down for big Mahomes cards.
It's funny. It's like the buy the GOAT thing is the thing right
And
now.
Cody,
I mean, that's
Cody was hot too.
all the the high, like all the players that have been mentioned. That's really kind of where a lot of the deals are happening. It seems like people are bringing out cash. So again, I was there for 20, 30 minutes, literally. I didn't see any cash. So I didn't see any deals going down. Not to say that it didn't happen, but I just wasn't. Tomorrow, I think will be a lot better of a gauge. Tomorrow will be kind of like, okay, are people breaking out cash, or are they just trading, or what are they doing?
I know there's definitely cash there. As in, I've heard some people and the numbers are bringing in. It's like, damn, that's a lot of money, at least, for me. So I know cash is there, but I don't know. Maybe I think also when you've been to these shows for a long time and you've been in cards for 2, 3, 4, 10 years, you can look at what you have and what others have and work out trades a lot easier. I think at this point for me, trades just seem very confusing. It's like, okay, well, this kind of has upside, that kind of doesn't. Cash is a lot easier to understand. Any thoughts there on trades? Like, do you guys do trades? Do you do anything, Dustin?
I don't do a whole lot of that. No, I buy, but
Well, thank you for supporting the hobby. It's a great time to buy. Can you
I'm the only one with cash at the show. I'm the only one who brought cash to the show. No, I'm kidding. I sell too. I sell as well, but I don't do enough trading probably. But kind of like I said earlier, it's more of just I don't want to travel across the country with a bunch of expensive cards. And then I would rather just kind of, if there's something that I'm going to get, like just pay for it, sell the stuff on the back end and reimburse myself. I'd rather just do it like that. But we'll see how it goes. I don't have plans of buying a monster card at the show. I think it'll kind of depend on, here's the one thing too, that we were all talking about before is, are we going to play kind of a cat and mouse game of like, everyone's trying to sell at the high price, but we're all coming in trying to get kind of like buying the dip, but no one, like where does that kind of meet? Does it meet? Are those deals getting done? Outside of just trading one GOAT for another GOAT type stuff.
Yeah.
So that's what I'm watching for tomorrow.
Yeah.
You're going to say something, Steve?
Yeah, I'll do some trading, but I've seen a lot of deals going down where it's a trade with cash on top, where people are trying to use multiple cards with some cash on top to get into
They're like laddering up?
Yeah, into one bigger item.
Okay.
And I did see some straight sales going down where somebody just put out 6 cards, or a guy went through someone's items, pulled out 6 cards and said, I'll give you this much cash for it. So that was just a straight vendor buying off of someone with their cards. Another card we didn't talk about real quick was the 86 Fleer Jordan. That card's popular. Everybody's trying to get on it now because it's low, but that's another card that the vendors are like, I'm not selling that card into the dip. If you want to pay, if you want it, you're going to have to pay for it. Type, I'll just sit on it till it goes back up type deal. So that card is popular. I could see that card if if you're willing to put out money and try to get a deal on one of those. That's a card coming out of Dallas that could get hot again, I think.
Yeah, for this show, Rob, I decided not to bring a bunch of cards. It was more about networking, and then I'll do some buy stuff potentially, but I didn't want to do that at this show. Maybe the national will be different, or maybe at a local show where I'm driving to it. But for this one, I decided not to.
Dustin trades autographed headshots of himself for cards. 1,000 autographs for a pack of Donruss paper.
It's going down. Yes. All right, Brad, if Tampa Bay Bucs win the Super Bowl again, they won't. You'll need to come back to Tampa and party in Ybor that night, then head to the boat parade to toss. That'd actually be pretty cool. That'd be pretty cool.
Dude, that boat parade still was like, it showcased Tampa too. It made Tampa look really cool in February where most other places were cold. I'm like, man, these guys are living the dream. And it was to the point where like there's 2 days that I regret not being in Tampa. And the one day of the year is Gasparilla. And if you guys don't know what Gasparilla is, it's a giant pirate festival where everyone just gets dressed up as pirates, goes to South Tampa, drinks, parties, and it's just like a good time. And the other was that boat parade when the Bucs won. So I'll have to come back because I already regret not being there for the first Super Bowl win.
So, Yam, just in what I saw, and again, I was only there tonight for about half an hour. So really kind of a quick just tour, and really like half the tables were set up. I didn't see a lot of CSG, SGC stuff, and I'm sure it's there. I just didn't see a lot of that. I don't know, Steve, did you see SGC or?
Yeah, I saw one table who had quite a bit of, seemed like HGA.
I saw that one too. Yeah.
Okay. And I saw another table that had maybe 5 CSG slabs, but they were good cards in the slabs. It wasn't like it was just somebody sent off junk cards to CSG because they're open and cheap. But it was only the 2 tables that I actually witnessed them. They were separate tables. It wasn't the same person. So I saw one with some HGA slabs. I saw another one with some CSG stuff. But most of it is PSA and BGS. I didn't see a lot of SGC, to be honest. No,
it was vast majority PSA, especially the modern. And then the higher end cards were PSA or BGS. And that's it. I think that's like the usual what we see. But nothing out the ordinary.
Yeah, feel free to.
There it is. All right. Hey, man, these help me sleep. And when I get good sleep, I wake up, I record better videos, I make better decisions, and that's it.
Oh, Ben Clark probably wants to buy your Hakeems.
This bottom one here?
Yeah, Ben likes it. Well, obviously, look at his picture.
Yeah,
we're buying mostly Hakeem Olajuwon 86 Fleer rookies, Ben. That's the big focus.
What was the other one?
What was there was
Marvel cards?
He's talking about Phil Foden.
Well, I'll find the other ones. Here we go.
Yeah, they want Steve's Phil Fodens.
What's that?
Phil Foden is a soccer player on Man City.
I'm like, Phil Foden.
Way to stay on top of soccer, Brad.
Is this not a touchscreen?
No, it doesn't work like that. I have not seen any Marvel cards, Devin. Not yet. But honestly, though, again, like just haven't done enough walking around.
I saw a showcase of raw Marvel cards, 1990 Impel, ungraded, which is basically junk wax, especially if it's not slabbed. And then I saw a couple high-end Marvel cards at a different table that had actually, it might have been Mealy Stock's table. They were graded and actually kind of.
Yeah, we did see. We weren't together, but we saw Mealy Stocks had. I walked by him, and he's got a big booth, and he's got. I walked by him and I heard his voice and actually recognized him. I think Steve said the same thing. And he's got like 5 cameras around him. You know, that's going to actually be me tomorrow. My buddy Brian is going to have his camera and then my camera on a tripod doing all sorts of, crazy stuff. We'll see what comes out of it. Hopefully some good stuff comes out of it. We'll see. Oh, Cuba, great.
Awesome, dude.
Thanks. Appreciate that.
Thank you.
Is anybody here? Anyone in the chat that's also here in Dallas?
Yeah.
Let us know that.
They're probably doing deals with cards versus.
Yeah, they're like, hey, we're actually doing real work. Yeah, we're actually doing real work.
Let's see what else. So, any expectations for the next day or two? Like anything that you would like to see?
One thing I might have mentioned earlier in the stream, but I'm going to try to buy some smaller cards. Okay, cool.
Oh, shit.
I'm going to try to trade up. I'm going to try to buy into some smaller cards and do like a smaller version of a Sasha T smaller version of that. And who knows, maybe I'll end up with a $400,000 Pokemon Charizard. I mean, stuff happens.
Probably not.
No, it probably will happen.
And then you'll like lose that really expensive card. That'll be the ending of the video. And then I lost it.
Yeah. And then I lost it in the airport.
Oh, man, that's funny. That honestly worries me though, because like I lose my keys from time to time. I'll lose my wallet not often, but like every 5 years or 6 years, I lose either keys, phone, or wallet. And I'm like, well, what's stopping me from losing a $10,000 card? There's no tracking on the card. Like
that's why Brad and I don't bring cards to shows.
I mean, it's a bit scary though, right? I mean, it's like, what if it just slips between like your pillows of your couch? What do you think I was going to say?
I don't know, but I would have it in like I don't know. I'd have it in some sort of, it would be so obvious that there's a valuable thing in there that it would get stolen because it would be like a gigantic, like
golden cube
with like 17 locks on it.
Okay. Yeah. Oh man, what is this? What is going on here? What is going on? Hockey. I did not see any hockey.
Steve's got a hockey card. You have a hockey card with you, don't you?
Yeah, I do, but I didn't see much hockey either. I was actually looking for a hockey table.
I did see an 8.5 PSA O-Pee-Chee Wayne Gretzky.
Oh, yeah.
But you know what was weird, though, is I looked at that card and the edges, like it just didn't – I don't know. It didn't look like it should have been an 8.5. Like it did not look great for an 8.5.
Dude, look at this. This is a kind of cool idea right here. Walk around the show in a live stream. I mean, that way you don't have to turn this into like 86 videos.
That's an excellent point.
You know, it could
Cardboard
just be,
cheddar, that might happen tomorrow. I have all these people like, why the hell are you videoing? What are you talking about?
how about this? 36-hour nonstop live stream
Marathon. Live stream marathon.
Oh, man. Yeah.
Okay.
I
Hey,
know.
don't count that out. That might happen.
Well, all right. Let me ask you guys something. We were thinking about what content to create regarding this because we could just go around and show cards and ask the same questions, but there are a lot of people doing that. So the thought I had was, what specific angle or what would you like to see or know about this show specifically? Is there something else? Because I mean, we could do behind the scenes stuff. We could do tips for the Dallas show, like specifically for Dallas, or it could just be, here are some really cool cards, and here are the vendors answering questions and whatnot. Because I mean, I'm not in that space where I'm doing deals on $5,000 and $10,000 cards just yet. At some point, hopefully, I will be, but I'm not gonna, pretend to be doing that. So if you have any insight or any perspective on what you'd like to see from this show specifically, besides just the cards and what vendors have to say, let us know in the comment section.
One thing to answer your question here, Nate, is I was talking to one guy, and it was interesting. They had some rare sealed wax that they were selling, and it was expensive. It was like $6,000 a box, and it was like 70s basketball. They were talking about how they had bought a case of 76 Topps football cards. They also had a PSA 10 Walter Payton rookie card in their case. These guys, it was impressive. But I asked him, I said, have you had this sealed wax for a long period of time, or did you get it recently? And he said that they got it about 6 months ago. 6 months ago, they bought and they must have spent a lot of money on it. But I thought that was just interesting though, because I don't know how many cases. I didn't think that there was really any cases of 76 Topps football unsealed laying around. I didn't think that existed. And then I think that what they might have been doing is breaking up cases and selling them in boxes, as opposed to maybe selling, reselling the entire case. So, and I could be wrong on that part, but they didn't have a whole case with them there. They were selling boxes, expensive boxes. So now look, maybe that's something that's fairly normal to see at a national, but for me, at this show, that was interesting.
I wasn't paying attention.
Oh, that's a shock. Yeah,
What's
too
up,
busy
LT?
looking through the comments. LT, what's up, man?
Yeah, well, this is what we'll do. This is what we'll do, David. If we combine all of our money and then borrow someone else's money, then we'll do a deal on Sasha's most low-end card.
The deal is going to be like the dine and dash where we grab a card off his table and run to the car, run to the car.
I saw Sasha today. He was walking around though. I didn't see a table set up for him yet.
I saw him at his table, but because it's dealer night, I'm sure he's scouting himself.
Yeah. I would like to buy a card from him, even if it, just for fun. I think that'd be cool to get on camera. So yeah, I'll try to make a deal. I'll try to make one deal with him. We'll see what happens.
I think he has a lot of lower end liquids.
I think he does too. He's got lower end stuff too. I joke about that, but I know he doesn't. They're not all $100,000 cards.
I mean, you could just put a deposit on the card.
These are IOUs. They're as good as money.
A couple of autographed headshots.
PFD autographs. Just saying.
Okay, so this one, yeah. Ask vendors about what they think about PSA in the future for them and other grading companies. I did that in LA when PSA had their shutdown, and it was majority just the guys that have been in it for a long time were just, I hold off and I'll wait. And when PSA opens, I'll go back to PSA. And the newer, younger guys that were only in for 6 months, a year and a half, maybe, they were a bit more open to the other companies. But, I don't know. It's one of those things. I can ask a couple. I just feel like the consensus in LA would be the same as here, where it's just like PSA just has so much power. And if you've been in the hobby for 5 or 10 years, what's going on right now isn't very big on on the scale of 10 years. So any thoughts there?
I was not paying attention to a
That's
lot
okay.
of what you said
That's
last
okay.
time.
That's how it happens.
What I was
I'll
going to
check my
say
text.
though, is that I.
Boris texted me. Y'all doing anything?
Oh no, we're not doing anything, Boris.
Y'all, you probably can't read it. Y'all doing anything? What should I reply?
No, we're all in bed. Everyone's in bed. We're all done. We're getting up early tomorrow. Unbelievable. This
Respond. Nah.
Nah.
Well, I'll send him a picture of the live stream. Hey guys. Oh, that's funny. Okay.
Okay. So no, what I'm going to do. So there's a lot of big cards here. What I want to try to find are SGC graded cards where maybe people are trying to get out of them, and maybe they'll give them that at a discount. We'll see. That would be where I'm looking for important. And I'm not saying any SGC graded cards, but important ones. So, Tom Brady rookie cards or numbered stuff that I like. If it's in an SGC holder, I want to look at that and see if there's, an arbitrage there where I'm getting a deep discount just because it happens to be in an SGC case.
Yeah.
I'm really starting to like BGS 9.5. There's just so much value there.
I bought a lot of 9.5s. Like, if it's BGS and it's a 9.5, I'm okay with it. It's only if it's a 9 or less, does it have to be some sort of crazy rare card. But just a 9.5 for like a Christian McCaffrey Silver Prism, I bought that. And I'm fine with it because the price was like basically the same as a PSA 9. And I'm like, there's no way I shouldn't be able to get that same profit.
Yeah, Troy, I'll grab I'll buy the cards from Sasha that he accidentally drops and breaks and just can't do anything with. I'll negotiate those.
I will say I did hear of a very large card being cracked at the show. Hefty 6-figure card being cracked to be regraded. So
well, and keep in mind, one for the task. The one thing is PSA has not always been the grading king, or queen, whatever. They haven't always been tops, and maybe they'll always be tops for resale, but there's no guarantee in any of that. And there's definitely no guarantee that a PSA 10 is a better graded card than an SGC 10.
Yeah.
Not at all. I mean, and some people would say that the SGC 10 has been more harshly graded than the PSA 10 in some cases. Yeah. So, you have to look at all those things. I agree.
So it is like more upside. I think it's more security with PSA because PSA is being aggressive with what they're doing. They're not like losing ground, but more upside on like a SGC. Like that's the way I see it. It's like they're doing what they can. If PSA wasn't so ambitious with what they were doing, I feel like, dude, SGC's on the rise, PSA's declining.
I agree.
But PSA's like, we're hiring everyone, then we get this company, and we're looking to just crush everyone.
Right. But if that didn't happen, then it would just be kind of up in the air.
Yeah.
They're moving through their backlog too. I mean, you can't really tell. There's no direct numbers, but if you look at what's being pumped into the pop report on a weekly basis, you can kind of get an idea of how much they're putting out, and the numbers are getting higher and higher. Like the overall pop report, not even broken down by sport or card, and you're seeing what they're getting out like weekly. And last week was like 40,000 more cards than they did the week before. So it seems like they're getting through.
They're going to move through it.
And I was wondering if PSA getting through the backlog was really deflating the prices, because now it's like, well, we might not have the demand as before because there are all these other alternatives and investments and crypto and NFTs and whatever. And then also PSA is just flooding the market with everything that we thought would trickle out, but then now it's just flooding.
Yeah,
like
coming out faster.
So, I mean, even with that being said, though, like going back to the conversation before, is with all the cards coming back, there's not going to be too many number to 199 parallels coming back. There's going to be a max of 199, but the second year Luka Prism or all these other cards is like, great. Now there's 8,000 of those. Well, now it's like a $15 card.
Like
Don't count me out, trigger figure. Don't count me out, man. I've got fresh legs at 40. I'm 40, but I've got fresh legs. Sorry, Steve. Go ahead.
Like the Kyler I showed Brad earlier. I've been buying that like low serial numbered stuff for a while.
Yeah. So, all right, there was a comment here.
Yeah, about Tebow.
Well, there's the one about Tebow.
So Jeff Wilson has already cornered the market. Jeff Wilson has cornered the market on Tim Tebow cards.
Tim Tebow and Lonzo Ball cards are all tied up.
Yeah.
I think. Well, what do you think about the signing of Tim Tebow? Because it seems like like, did he really deserve a tight end spot for a 34-year-old former quarterback?
Well, he's tied to the coach. They have deep roots, and it'll be his last shot. He's still got to make the team. I'm sure it's a voidable contract to where if he doesn't make the team, he gets cut.
When he plays 3 games, he gets his full pension.
The other thing is he's from Jacksonville. Tebow will sell jerseys. So if you're the owner of the Jags, you want Tebow to make the team so you can sell Tebow jerseys. That's what it's all about.
Dude, there's a comment here. And the one thing with Tebow is I'll say I bet he's being brought on, not really for PR, but because I bet he's a great locker room presence. Like, he strikes me as a guy that, like, you put him in the locker room and people will like, and he'll compete and he'll practice hard, and then you'll cut him, and hopefully all the good players will actually compete. There was a comment here by LT about soccer, and the interesting thing is that those 2014 World Cup Prism PSA 9 Ronaldo and Messi cards that I bought last November and flipped, they're now down to that same original price. But of course, the pop on those cards are a lot higher because now, that base card from 2014 has come through PSA. So now I'm looking again at Messi, Ronaldo very lightly, very loosely. And because of the World Cup and because it's an international sport where I'm assuming and I'm hoping that a lot of people from Europe and Asia will be familiar with cards next year and have the resources to get in, that's when I'd be looking at what's a rare version of that Messi, what's a rare version of that Ronaldo that hopefully has gone down the same. Oh, sorry, auction time. Take it from here.
God.
But I like soccer. I do like soccer, especially when I see the prices falling. I just don't want to go back to those base cards again.
And we'll finish your thought later, Brad. Thank you. All right. There was a good question here. I don't think a low dip. I personally think this is the level cards are going to be at unless someone does something special. And that's kind of a really good point, Rob, is, where cards just very underpriced 3 years ago, now they've kind of like spiked, and now they kind of come back down to more of kind of a manageable level to where, that this is kind of where they should be. The one thing I'll pay attention to, and I'll report back as well, is where are kind of base cards looking, base rookie cards and things like that, not necessarily the rare stuff that we've been talking about and kind of the GOAT players. What's going on with some of the other, what's a Luka Prism PSA 10 going for at this show? I'm going to pay attention to little things like that, because that's one thing. And I had viewership ask, are the prices at the show commensurate with what you see on, eBay and so forth? Like, what are we seeing there? And I'll definitely talk about that. And I don't know, Steve, if you want to talk about it.
I saw some Luka Prisms priced out at around $900 today.
$900.
And I knew that they had fallen below 1,000 on eBay. They were fluctuating between $850 and 1,000. So 900 at the one table that I saw them priced at was at market. But they also had a stack of them in their showcase about this high. So
that's kind of the problem. Is Luka PSA 10 Prisms like the Greg Jeffries of 1989? Obviously, they weren't printed as much as the Jeffries cards. But is it kind of along the same lines of just like, look, you've got supply, you don't necessarily have the demand to meet the supply? Not right now, anyways. And by the way, Greg Jeffries rookie cards never went for $900. So, all right.
Devin Booker stuff's been popular.
Devin Booker, yeah. Well,
Devin Booker stuff has been popular,
and it should be, frankly.
I heard a lot of people talking about it today. I saw one guy dealing out two silvers. He was trading into a vendor.
That's weird. Brad took the camera away.
Keep going, Steve.
The vendor went through the guy's stuff, and he was like, I'm interested in all of your Bookers. So I was like, and he had him in the showcase. Just the Prism Silver is not necessarily the Prism base, but anything that's in a Prism color from 2000.
It makes sense that you would see people, and I agree. I think people look, those young stars. Jason Tatum is another guy where it's like, Boston's probably not going to do much this year, but I mean, in a few weeks when the season ends, when their season ends, I'm sure Jason Tatum, someone's going to snap up Jason Tatum's when as those prices kind of shrink. So I don't know. I think a lot of, and you have to think too, we're going to be eventually in the next 2-3 years, maybe sooner, we're going to be in a league where there's not a dominant LeBron James, and there's going to be other teams that are winning championships.
That'd be interesting when you have 8 teams that could legitimately win without a bona fide superstar.
Yeah.
I'll tell you the one thing I didn't see moving today was didn't see any baseball trading hands. I didn't see any baseball moving. And Pokemon, and in fact, one of the bigger guys who had big showcases of Pokemon, Boris actually asked him if he was buying. He was like, no, I'm not buying Pokemon at all. I'm only selling right now. So I don't know what the Pokemon market looks like. I'm not really huge into it, but I didn't see a lot of that trading hands, and I didn't see a lot of baseball being traded, bought, or sold. It just seemed a lot of it out there, a lot of nice cards, but I didn't see much of it going.
I saw a lot of really nice vintage baseball. I didn't see a lot of like high-end modern baseball, but there was some wicked vintage baseball out there. It was awesome.
I got this as a gift in a medium, and a medium works fine because I like the muscle fit.
It's a schmedium.
It's a schmedium, but it looks good. Yeah, it looks good. I see a bit of the vein, the bicep vein starting to come through. I don't want to look like
I need it to be four.
I want to look like that jacked kicker that is on 3 or 4 NFL teams. Yeah, there we go.
But
one thing though, wait, hold on a second. So baseball, the one guy I was thinking of looking into was Mike Trout. Now that he's out, I thought 6 to 8 week window was like a good amount of time for there to be a dip in his prices while still investing in the number one baseball player going forward.
Has it dipped?
I'm looking at it. It might be a few more weeks.
I know it's 2011 Bowman Chrome Refractor with the black border, the one that's gained a lot of popularity as opposed to the 2011 Topps Traded, has really come down. I saw a graph on that today. Now, again, are the vendors going to be putting their Trout stuff out now?
Yeah. Well, there's another comment if you're at the card show and it's a low period, do vendors even sell, or what's the point? Because they might have even bought at that price. But I
just answer this question real quick. It was all graded what I saw, and high grade mantle stuff and Hank Aaron and all it was nice stuff.
I saw a nice table of vintage baseball.
Really nice graded vintage baseball stuff.
Williams PSA 7.
Oh, okay, real quick. The one thing about vendors selling, I think it always boils down to everyone I spoke to is like, yeah, we lose money from time to time. It's not talked about nearly as much, but we take losses on cards from time to time. And I think because people have their bills to pay, or also they could take a loss on a card if they believe there's a better chance they'll make up for it somewhere else. So it's like, I think there are some people that are motivated sellers and then others that aren't, depending on their own financial situation as well as what they're chasing and how much reserves they have. But yeah, that's the way I see it.
Yeah, I think
so. Brad is bunking with Boris. Yeah,
it's actually one king size. There is a couch, but there is a couch pull-out bed in the couch, so one of us will sleep there. But I'm like, the bed looks legit. I mean, it's a king size. I'm like, fuck. I hope I get the bed.
I'm on the fourth floor by myself, the king.
Oh, nice.
And there's been a difference between the types of style of vendors. There's some vendors who are looking to sell because I don't know if it's a fear in the market collapse or the market continuing to go down, that they're just trying to recoup some of their investments, some of their money. And then you have some that are like, oh, I don't care. I'll just sit on this card till it comes back. So I've seen a couple tables where guys, like, especially where I bought the Tyler Hero card from, that guy was like, I got all my stuff priced to sell because he had 130 on it. I said, is that the best you can do? He's like, well, my stuff's all kind of priced to sell. He was like, I can do 115.
You didn't answer my question.
Yeah, he was like, you can do 115. And he was a younger.
How old?
To me, he seemed like he was a kid. I mean, he seemed like
20-something.
Seemed like he might have been 18. Like, he seemed young, but I feel like you have some vendors that are just willing to be patient and wait it out, and then you have some that are looking to recoup maybe some of their investment because maybe they don't have the financial stability to wait it out.
I wonder if vendors that have been doing this for 5 years, 10 years have experienced this level of type of drop, because when you look at prices over the last couple of years on the data tools, it looks like it's been a steady increase without this crazy up and down that we got over, I guess, pretty much August of last year up until now. You know what I mean? Like, if you've been doing this for a couple of years and you know the way it works, and it's been pretty steady, and more money's coming in, but very like sustainable, and then all of a sudden you have huge spikes up. You might think that that's normal, and then you have a huge dip, and then you freak out, but then again, it might just reset and be fine again. But if it's the first time experiencing it, it could be very scary. So I wonder if it's because he's a younger vendor, he'd be a bit more freaked out about it. But someone that's older is like, yeah, I kind of expected this.
Yeah.
Anyway. All right, blue light blocking glasses. They just block the blue light so I can sleep better. That's I saw like 19 other comments in there. So let's see here. But here's a couple things though. So when this dip is going on right now, I like to look at those Warren Buffett quotes to see like, well, what would he do in similar circumstances in the stock market? And so you have be fearful when others are greedy and greedy when others are fearful, which is a great quote overall. But then that doesn't mean like, you can't get hurt from buying into a dip and then losing all your money. So then there's that other quote, which is only when the tide goes out do you see who's swimming naked, which is a good like balance to that, which is, be greedy when others are fearful, but also know that you don't over leverage yourself no matter what, because you do that and you could be the one that like buys the dip and there's 2 more dips to come and you're the one that's out of money. So I try to think of that a lot.
Yeah, I think that's what's interesting about this show is that it's by the dip, but the cards that are here are huge cards. So it's not like you're seeing, a big dip. And it's not like the people that own those cards are willing to sell at any sort of discount because they're rare. So, that'll be kind of interesting to see how that plays out.
Yeah. Any thoughts, Steve?
Yeah,
we're kind of out of conversation.
Like you said, the cards here, a lot of high-end stuff. And when we're talking about a dip, it's really across a lot of this massively printed. It's across some of the older stuff too because it spikes so high. But, the stuff that's in high supply is the stuff that we're seeing the dip in. These high-end cards are still selling for big dollars. We just saw, we're still seeing records set on cards. LeBron was sold for another record. So,
yeah, the high-end stuff.
The high-end stuff is still selling really high. The people have money to pay for it, and the people that have the money to pay for it still want it. So, I think we're kind of losing. There's becoming a bigger separation. They used to say the high, rising tide raises all ships, but I think that we're starting to see a big separation between the high-end stuff and the low-end stuff.
And I think with that, there was another comment about just supply and demand, and all this is supply and demand. All it is like, and that's why it's like, I see why everyone scales up from the base cards in the lower end to the higher end stuff. Because even though it's higher dollar amounts, you get those serious collectors. You get the people that look at it as art, the cards that are legitimate memorabilia. And even though they can take hits as well, at least you're like, yeah, but this is something special at the end of the day. At least it's something special versus second year Trae Young Prism base card or something like that.
I love those cards.
I had those on ComC. I sold a few and I got excited. I'm like, hey, this makes sense. They're selling. And then, but again, those are like buy for $2.50, and then they don't sell for $9 and you get upset. And then you realize, okay, well, at least I made those mistakes on $2.50 cards, not like bowl, silver prisms, or who's the other one? What are some of the other examples of like those chase cards where people just go crazy for it?
Yeah, like the Lakers guy.
Like Taylor Horton Tucker.
Yes.
LeBron James's Twitter said he was good. Whoever controls that. All right. Anything else before you fall asleep in the middle of this?
No, I think you've said enough, Brad. So
I've done my job.
I think we're going to wrap up, guys. It's been a long day, and so we're going to wrap this one a little bit earlier than we normally do. But wanted to jump on. Thanks for joining us tonight, and we will have more stuff obviously going on over the weekend. I don't know how or when it's going to be released. It's going to be kind of like touch and go with all that. But thanks very much for hanging out with us for an hour, and we will talk to you again later.
Yeah, don't expect too much from Dustin.
Don't expect anything from Brad.